Okay, so we're back here with AbraSilver. About 3 months since last, but quite a bit has happened in a short time frame here. And again, share price has almost doubled since last time. So this just keeps on happening. Of course, you've had silver on your side in the last sort of time frame here, but good fundamental catalyst happening as well since last we spoke. So I thought we will. I mean, obviously the rig is submission. I just list them quickly. You raised a bit more capital, increasing the cash balance further. You announced phase 6 drilling plan. You've released a bunch of good results out of Oculto East, showing the system grows, more gold dominant, very interesting. Also indicating a potential porphyry presence close as well there. What am I missing? Also a new share woman as well, which is
Yeah.
also good. We'll touch upon that, which is interesting too.
Yep.
People, someone who people in the Nordics are familiar with because she was the CEO of Lundin Mining for a long time.
That's right.
But anyways, I'll let you sort of recap since what's happened since last we spoke. I did a bullet point there, and then we'll get into the line items.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much, Gorm, for having me back. But yeah, as you mentioned, look, it's been a very, very exciting period for us. It's really been a tremendous year. And even just the last few months has been quite transformational, as you mentioned. So yeah, I think you gave a good summary there. But yeah, in high level update, I mean, the ongoing exploration continues to deliver stellar results for us. So we've been stepping out to the east. Well, we could talk about Oculto East, which has really opened up a brand new high-grade gold zone for us in oxides. That's very exciting. So the exploration team continues to have phenomenal success. As you talked about the balance sheet, we're in the strongest position ever. So we have cash on hand now, just about $65 million Canadian. So we're fully financed for next year. We can even start some early construction activities, which is the plan for next year. So we're in great shape there. Of course, no debt as always. And we've maintained a very tight share structure as well. 160 million shares outstanding, no warrants. So very clean balance sheet, clean share structure, very supportive strategic shareholders as well. As you know, 25% of the shares are held by the top three strategics. So Central Puerto, the large utility company out of Argentina, Eric Sprott, Kinross, and then combined with management, we own still 25% of the company. So those shares are in very solid hands. And then on top of that, we made lots of progress, I'd say, on the permitting side. We submitted our EIA permits last year. We're in the very final stages right now of receiving the positive approval, which we're expecting now in early Q1. So the very positive framework there, ongoing in Salta, of course, and in Catamarca. And then, of course, Riggy, which has been the game changer in Argentina. You've seen billions of dollars of new investments coming into the country across all sectors, on the copper side, on the gold side. What's important to note on the silver side, we're the only project that we know of that will qualify for Riggy. We're certainly the only one that's applied, and we're not expecting any other advanced stage solar projects to pop up in Argentina. And so, very unique, really, improves the project's economics substantially, and really, phenomenal timing for us as we're looking next year. Of course, is going to be the pivotal year where we're looking to make a final investment decision by year end. So lots of important catalysts coming up as well. So yeah, no, really, I think we're firing on all cylinders right now. I think we've had lots of success this year. As you mentioned, gold and silver prices at all-time highs obviously helps out quite a lot as well. But this project's economic, even at $25 silver, which seems, absurd. But that was the base case scenario for our pre-feasibility study that we announced basically exactly 12 months ago today. So that was based on about $25 silver and just over $2,000 gold. So both, gold and silver has more than doubled from those levels. And so even if it goes back to those levels, this project's still highly economic with a good, 30% after-tax rate of return. But at current spot prices, the IRR is north of 80% after tax. The payback is a few short months. It's measured in months, not years. So this is a phenomenal project, anywhere near current spot prices, and even much lower than today's price levels.
Okay, excellent. Good summary. I would like to dig in on the capital raise briefly. I mean, obviously, your strategic partners participated for their share and so on, but just talk about a bit about the split. I mean, who came in here?
Yeah, so there was good demand there, I'd say. Again, it was solely, I would say, mostly institutional investors. But then, of course, Eric Sprott, Kinross also participated. Some management, the board members participated as well. So it was, less than 5% dilution, which was important. Again, we want to keep, preserve that tight share structure here, which we managed to do. So again, as I mentioned, 160 million shares outstanding, no warrants. It was at a very, very modest discount. I think we priced it right. So we raised the money at $7.10 Canadian a share. We knew there was obviously lots of upside for the investors that participated, but we did not want to give a huge discount. And so we were able to pull that off at the right time. That really helps us because once you get Riggy, which we're going to receive here in Q1, so within the next few months, it really puts you on the clock. So Riggy is only for projects that are actively moving forward. And so once you get this Riggy approval, you have 2 years from the date of your approval to spend $80 million US. And there's a minimum 40 million US in the first 12 months, 40 million in the second 12-month period. So now we're fully funded for that first 12-month period. So that really, really helps. So that was really the primary reason for raising. I mean, we raised just under 50 million Canadian. So with the cash on hand now, we're fully funded to meet that $40 million requirement next year. And then obviously throughout the year, we'll also look for project financing to really enter into construction by year end next year. So this is a construction ready project now. So it's really been transformational. Obviously the last 5-6 years, we've been focused almost exclusively on exploration, have had tremendous success there. But now this project's ready, of course, to move to the next stage. And again, we're ramping up, as you mentioned, the team. Obviously, we have the financing in place now for the next steps.
So what's because we didn't really, I wasn't able to suss this detail out. I guess with the spend, the sort of the time unit spend requirements. Then I would have known that you would have had to raise. I guess now, but great. I mean, great, well executed. What specifically does the spend buckets look like? It sounds like I mean, obviously you're spending money, you're accelerating sort of pre-development. What are you spending on next year?
Yeah, so we yet to finalize the budget, but drilling counts towards that $40 million. So we've already mentioned in our last press release, next year's exploration program is going to again continue, of course, with all the success we've had. Our Phase 6 program would be about 15,000 meters. So that could be about $10 million or so roughly, or just under $10 million US. So that counts towards the $40 million figure. The other final amounts, again, are sort of construction activities. So you can order long lead time items, which would help accelerate the schedule. You can expand the camp at site, just so that when construction activities go on, you're not also looking to expand the camp. So we need a larger camp, obviously, to accommodate all the contractors and employees we'll have during the construction phase. So we're still finalizing that schedule. We'll come out with more details, but those are the types of activities that could really help, again, accelerate the schedule. And once we get the EIA permit approval, I think we'll have obviously the permits in place for those activities, and obviously we already have the financing in place. So it just requires formal board approval, and then we'll obviously come out with more details early in the new year.
Okay, so you're not saying, because the EIA would be in Q1, so it could be a bit later in Q1, but this will be communicated soon, very early in next year, basically, what the spend buckets would be.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that's certainly the plan.
But basically what you're saying, you think that there is some possibility here that the time plan for the build could be faster than what has been described in the last engineering study?
For sure. Okay. Yeah. We don't have to wait for the final investment decision, which will be in the second half of next year. I mean, we could, again, start ordering long lead time items early in the new year. We can start building out the camp early in the new year. We can do some advanced final detailed engineering, etc. So all of that could take place, starting very early in 2026.
Well, I mean, that's great news for everyone,
yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
So that's very good. a catalyst on its own right, getting that information. So
For sure.
I guess I'll jump over to your new chairwoman. I just talk a bit about her. As I said, people will have been familiar with her in our group because she was the CEO of Lundin Mining for I think 3 years, 18 to 21. But talk about why she's a good fit and why she came in now.
Yeah, look, we're extremely fortunate to get somebody of Marie Inkster's caliber to join our board as chair. I mean, she's already made a huge she's been a huge addition, of course, as part of the financing as well, and some of the earlier discussions we're having on the project financing. So yeah, I know Marie extremely well. So we worked together for the 6 years that I was at Lundin Mining. So of course I was there between I think 2010 and 2016, sort of that time frame. At that time, Marie, of course, was the CFO of the company, and then after I left, she became the CEO. So she was running Lundin Mining for a number of years. She's extremely highly accomplished mining executive, well known as you mentioned globally. She's obviously tons of project financing experience, tons of experience running multinational sort of operating companies. And so, yeah, she's really been a tremendous addition to our board. Prior to us, I mean, she was on the board of Vale, for instance, which is the mega Brazilian base metal miner, one of the largest mining companies in the world. She's also on the board of Cameco, the largest publicly traded uranium company in the world. So again, for her to join Abra obviously shows you that she really believes in the team and obviously the asset. And so, yeah, Marie really rounds out the board. I said we were kind of lacking on that side. So now I think we have really a dream board. I'm very happy. I'm still learning a lot, obviously, from the board, but multiple facets. So Marie now on the financing, and obviously as we're going into operation, that's sort of her skill set there. Hernan Zabaya, of course, one of the top mining lawyers in Argentina. So, great to have Hernan on the board. Nick Teasdale, Steve Gatley, both very experienced, again, professionals on the technical side. Steve Gatley is ex-Lundin Mining as well, mining engineer. He was the head of technical services at Lundin Mining. Nick Teasdale, Wheaton Precious. And then Jens Mayer, of course, at Infor Financial. He's a very well-known banker. And then, Rob Brugman, Sam Young, Flora Wood. So very solid board. And then on the management side as well, I mean, you would have known that we hired Jeremy to lead sort of the technical side. So he's our senior VP projects and development. We brought him from Lundin Mining as well. So we're really assembling the Lundin Mining alumni here to a large extent. Prior to Lundin, he was at Kinross working down in Chile. And he's really managed to build a very strong technical team down in country in Argentina. He's made some significant additions to the technical team as well. So yeah, we've made excellent additions, I'd say, across the board, both on management side and especially on the board side. So I think a very strong foundation now. And of course, we're going to continue to build on that as we move this project to the next stage. There's obviously more additions that we'll be looking to make on the management team side. But I think, as I mentioned, solid foundation in place right now.
Yeah, excellent. In terms of the drilling results, and obviously, I think it makes sense to have Dave on again, probably sometime in Q1 next year, towards the end of Q1. But we got a good update and a good insight into sort of what's going on at the Oculto East, the expansionary potential there. Now you released a few really good holes out of there. So, in your own words, sort of how do you view this progression? And obviously, you announced Phase 6. How are you thinking about this discovery?
Yeah, so look, I mean, the deposit continues to grow. It continues to deliver. I mean, so it's, we're very blessed here to have clearly one of the highest quality silver projects out there globally. So this is really, again, over the past few years, we've seen significant transformation on the size of the resource. And so that's really important to point out, because the pre-feasibility study I mentioned from 12 months ago obviously used extremely conservative commodity prices, but was also based on a very much now outdated resource size. So at that time, the resource size was roughly 250 million ounces of silver equivalent. We came out with an update mid-year this year. We've grown that by 35%. So it's 350 million ounces on a silver equivalent basis. So that makes a significant difference, obviously, already. And now with the phase 5 now being wrapped up, the additional 20,000 meters that we drilled, we're going to come out with yet another resource and reserve update at the same time as we release the feasibility study in the first half of the new year. So the fees is going to be based on a much larger resource than the pre-fees, and so that's going to make a huge difference, I would imagine, to the project economics. I think the big differences have come from the Jack zone, of course, where we expanded that significantly. It's a high-grade silver zone that will come in early part of the mine plan. And then, of course, all of these holes that we've announced over the last 12 months at Oculto East, which is a high-grade gold zone. And it's all in oxides, all still open pittable. We've had some tremendous success there, hitting up to 10 grams per ton of gold over big widths, I think 30 meters or so. And so, yeah, the results continue to be very consistent. We're continuing to step out on both sides, to the east and to the west. It's open for, right now, the mineralization's across 2 kilometers, and we continue to step out, and that continues to grow. So this is a large-scale project. Still lots of exploration upside here. And we just yesterday announced, a recent deep hole, which was the deepest hole we've ever drilled at Oculto, down to 1 kilometer, and that returned a very exciting gold intercept, over 270 plus meters of 0.6 grams per ton of gold. That was in a transition zone. We're transitioning from oxides to sulfides, but that's obviously the longest continuous gold interval we've ever drilled, and shows you that this deposit's now open, which we always expected, but we had never confirmed it. I think now it's been confirmed. This is really open at depth. And the mineralization that we've been drilling is really related to a deeper porphyry system, which is sitting below. So yeah, exciting there. Next year, you can expect we'll likely continue to drill a couple deeper holes to get a better vector of the size and scale potential of the deeper part of the system. But of course, the focus remains the shallow oxide silver gold mineralization.
And the phase 5 is being concluded now, or is basically concluded. And phase 6, when is that planned to start? And what are the key objectives and allocations in your mind for phase 6?
Yep. So phase 6 is going to kick off immediately in the new year. I think the guys at site, just take a small break for the holidays. So it's a perfect time to wrap up phase 5. All of the data from phase 5 goes into the updated resource, into the updated mine plan. That should be reflected in the feasibility study. Phase 6 now is for additional upside, yet again, beyond the DFS. And so, yeah, I think there it's, again, going to be essentially a continuation of phase 5. I mean, it's still open in all directions at Oculto, at Jack, down at depth. There's a Cerro Viejo target 4 kilometers away as well that we want to continue to test. So it's still open in multiple areas. So still more drilling to be done there. And so, yeah, the system just continues to grow. So we're just not stopping. I mean, it's, I think the only real distinction is that you have to put a cutoff date for the resource. Otherwise, you just keep drilling, keep growing. I mean, you have to stop the data at some stage for the resource calculation. So phase 5, phase 6 is essentially the same thing. The only difference is that everything we've drilled by the end of this year gets reflected into the resource next year. And then anything beyond that is additional upside.
And you were saying that you plan on releasing the updated resource and reserve statement before the DFS, or would it be simultaneous too?
I expect it'll be simultaneous. Yeah. So it should be part of the DFS is when we'll announce the updated resource and reserve.
Right. And could you just give a brief update on the porphyry drilling progression? I mean, how's it going? How many holes have you completed now, and what sort of?
No, so initially it was just a 2 hole. So the 1 hole that we announced at Oculto East, that was drilled down to 1 kilometer. So obviously now with the result, like we're waiting for the results, and we got those in, and it's looking very promising. So likely we could follow that up with a few more holes next year. And then at Cerro Viejo, which is this porphyry complex 4 kilometers away, we're still waiting on those results. So we drilled that hole. That was
3 holes
deeper.
or one hole on it.
At Cerro Viejo, we're waiting for the results from one hole.
Okay. And the
Yeah.
plan will be, I mean, you're encouraged. You already said you're planning on following up on the Cervieco as well in phase
I would
six.
imagine, yeah. It really depends on the results. So we're not drilling anything right now. I mean that, but for the new year, the guys at site will determine sort of the top targets. But there's the two different zones beneath Oculto and at Cerro Viejo. So once we get back the results from the Cerro Viejo, then the guys can determine where it makes most sense to follow up.
Right. And what will be the planned pace of drilling? Are you maintaining the constellation and drill fleet? I think it's you have 5 or 3 rigs. I can't
Three.
recall now.
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah.
Three.
So we have 3 rigs.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, again, that pace will continue. So again, really no change between phase 5, phase 6. It's just the cutoff for the resource. So
Yeah.
no real changes there. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess just to summarize, then we have the EIA, we have the rig approval
Yes.
sometime in Q1, probably February, March. It sounds like you also
Yes.
in early January you will do a sort of a project timeline update as well. It sounds like as well
Yes.
sometime in January. That's a big deal too. And then you would
Yep.
have the resource reserve update plus the DFS come out, and obviously upgrade the entire project sequencing plus expansion of resource base. Um, Sometime I guess in Q2 sounds like probably shortly
Correct.
thereafter EIA. And so the second half of the year, what's going to happen then? When do you think you'll move into construction and financing and these things
Yeah. Yeah,
basically?
no. So simultaneous to that, early next year, we'll be looking at project financing opportunities. So there's variety of options out there. And again, in today's market conditions, I think you were looking at some extremely attractive sort of options that weren't there 12 months ago. So we'll evaluate those in parallel. We've given ourselves until the end of Q3. It's probably very conservative. I can't imagine it's going to take up to 9 months for project financing discussions. But yeah, I think, but mid part of the year, we can likely look for project financing, finalize that, and then you can make a final investment decision shortly thereafter. So in the second half of next year is when I would expect construction to formally kick off. So that's obviously a huge catalyst for us. So yeah, everything's lining up for that timeline. We see no issues whatsoever. If anything, as I mentioned, it's conservative. We could probably pull that construction decision hopefully ahead by a few months, but certainly sometime in the second half of next year, looking to commence construction. It'll be 2.5 years of construction.
Mm.
So 2027, 2028 will be full construction years, and then partially 2029. So initial production would kick off in the second half of 2029. It's a very exciting time for us again as we're transitioning from an explorer with still lots of exploration upside, but at the same time now moving a project towards a final construction decision.
Very good. And I guess just a brief reminder again, you're raising some money now. You'll do some pre capex. So what do you think? You're obviously very positive about the financing. It will be an easy thing for you to take care of. But when you say new options in the market, could you give some just a bit more flavor on your thinking here,
Sure.
if possible?
Well, I mean, the options were the same. It's just the cost of capital, I think, has come down
Yeah,
across the
yeah.
board. So some of our peers have done even convertible debentures. I think very attractive sort of coupons there that we weren't sort of used to seeing for developers. So that's something we could consider on the streaming side. We've seen, it's very highly competitive. I'd say all the streamers, if we were looking to stream maybe a small percentage of the gold, the streamers could likely offer very attractive terms there, and on top of that, they could likely participate on the equity side and even do a small loan if needed. So we have to evaluate all these different options. And so again, I mean, with the payback period being a number of months, we don't need to burden this with huge long-term debt at like a high interest rate. So looking for something flexible that we could pay off very quickly, and again minimize the dilution on the equity side. So there's lots of options there available. It's the same options that have always existed, but they're looking very attractive, I would say, right now.
Okay. Excellent, John. I think I'll wish you a happy new year, and we'll see each other in Q1 and discuss the expected developments then. And we'll have Dave on as well, so he can give the
That'd be great.
details on the call to East primarily.
That'd be great. Really looking forward to it. Thanks very much.